Hey cats, it's Ed Crystal Ball Bud here. It's time for another episode of Running Shoe Yay or Nay. This is the show where I take a look at some future running shoe releases and let you know whether I'm going to pick them up or not. Thanks for joining us on the channel once again, guys. Always appreciate it. If you haven't done so yet, please support the channel by picking up some merch from the links below. You can also hit that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications of when I launch those new videos for you. Help us out with that YouTube algorithm as well, and spread the word by giving this video a thumbs up like and sharing it with your running buddies. Bonjour. Running shoe number one. There's a couple of Nikes that have appeared on the horizon, iterations of shoes that have come before. I think these will drop in the relatively near future, so keep your eyes peeled. One model I have yet to test out is the Nike React MILER series. We've had two iterations so far, both with a thick slab of Nike React foam underfoot. The weight put me off trying out those though, 321 grams in a UK size 9, it's a bit hefty, up in my sizes at least. We do see quite a few upper changes here though, with the introduction of a clip around the back of the heel. They've also removed the pull tab as well from version 2, which is a winning idea. The last eyelets now appear to be simplified somewhat, and the upper overall appears closer to the Invincible run, even down to the unnecessary overlays on the lateral side of the upper. That top section of the tongue looks much more padded as well in comparison to the first or second releases, and from the images that we have seen so far, the outsole appears to have been switched up to something that's a little bit closer, I suppose, to the Infinity run. Nike normally have that two shoe cycle, don't they? Two iterations of a certain model and then they switch things up more drastically. That doesn't really seem to be the case here though. All in all, this could make for a reliable yet weighty cruiser for the long runs. It's got a little bit of a higher drop than some of the other Nike shoes with React right now. It could be a goer for me, but it all depends on the type of React that they've decided to use here in the MILER. As we well know, various different shoes seem to have different formulas of React. Some of them are very soft, some of them are very firm. I'm just hoping it's a little bit on the softer side than the Infinity run. I've just picked up the Infinity Run 2 out of the box and it just seems really firm compared to the stuff that's in the Peg Trail 3. So I think I'll go somewhere on the middle actually on the React MILER 3. Shoe 2. Another Nike shoe here with a React midsole, a bit of a spot the difference competition, another slightly more sculpted React foam slab underfoot with a more arch hugging upper fit by all accounts. Here we have the React Infinity Run 3 Flyknit from Nike. The typical fly wires appear on either side of the upper, and the Infinity Run 3 is far closer to the 2 than the original, which breaks that 2 iteration Nike cycle once again. Seems as if they've got loads of these midsoles and outsole units and they're just trying to get rid of them. The spiel around this model is that it has more foam and support around the heel of the shoe, but it seems darn close to the second iteration for my liking. Actually, the second one was pretty much identical to the first. The plastic clip is still present around the heel through to the arch on both medial and lateral sides. The same midsole as per V1 and 2 by the looks of it. It's just a very lazy Nike update. There's little thought gone into this one at all. I think they've probably just changed the tongue a little bit. There's nothing else here. Last version was just fine for me. In fact, the first version was too. They work as a daily shoe. A solid offering, nothing really to write home about. I've tried the last two out, so it's kind of almost a shame if I don't pick up this third iteration, see if it's any better, to continue the series and complete the trilogy before they bin it off for something else. So I'm going to say a tentative yay on the Infinity Run 3 from Nike. Shoe 3. Another shoe I've tried out the first two iterations is that of the Novablast. I really like that Asics shoe. It sort of grew on me over time. The first version I was a little bit skeptical about at first, but as I got more and more miles into the shoe, I enjoyed it more and more. Some of the stats here though suggest the shoe could be significantly lighter than the previous versions. I reckon it's only 245 grams for the men's sample size. I think the midsole stack and the drop are pretty much the same. Seems to be a more cyberpunk-like vibe here in that carved midsole appearance. Really is quite different actually from the heel through to the arch area. I think one big benefit from using flight foam here in the midsole is that it's so light you can actually afford to put some of that foam around the back of the foot to help stabilize the foot strike, and it doesn't turn into too much of a clog because you've got so much excess weight. The mock-up here from Run Shoe Bible is a beautiful shoe. Profile sculpting and colorway are outstanding. I think it looks absolutely I love the white Asics logo and the frosty tones on the lateral side of the shoe, perhaps only really beaten by the red and orange version that's on screen now. So where is the weight drop here? Surely it must be in the upper of the shoe. I can't really see anything massively different in terms of the midsole, and we haven't really seen too much of the outsole configuration as of yet. Could limiting the rubber a little bit make that much of a difference? You know, it's a good ounce or something. I don't think so. I reckon maybe the numbers are wrong. We shall find out though in quite a while. We're going to have to wait. It doesn't drop until September of 2022, so find yourself a good book. I'll be keen to test this one out though to see if it's any better than the second version. A few people didn't like the second as much as the first. I think they commented that it just didn't feel quite as nimble. Be interesting to find out if that is the case with version 3 of the Novablast. What do you reckon of all these up to now, guys? Let me know what you think about all 4 shoes in today's comparison down in the comments. Last shoe up today, shoe number 4. So Hoka have unveiled a Mach 5. Don't think I've even managed to get the Mach 4 up to 100 miles yet. So the Mach 5 is on the horizon, which appears to build on the current release with a more durable layer of EVA and then a more responsive layer on top of that. This time round though, we have Pro Fly Plus. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Pegasus Turbo, I suppose, where you've got a softer layer or a slightly more responsive layer on top of that EVA. The rubberized EVA was a bit of a problem in the V4. I found even after about 50 miles it has started to disintegrate. So what's different in this V5 new version of the shoe? The success of the shoe will be down a little bit to just how responsive, soft, compressive or squashy or whatever you want to say that new Pro Fly Plus foam is. We don't know too much about that yet. Is it going to be that much better than Pro Fly? What have they changed? Who knows? I think the Mach 4 was a bit of an odd shoe really. It was a bit of a jack of all trades. It kind of did everything okay and nothing brilliantly. It's trying to be lots of things to lots of people, and sometimes that can make for a bit of a misfire when it comes to running shoes. I think with 125 Earth credit price tag over here in the UK, which the Mach 4 had, this new version is going to have to be pretty good to actually match up with some recent releases that we've had. Things like the Street Fly, which is only a tenner more, and the Adios 6, which is in fact cheaper and just a more engaging, exciting shoe. Just felt so much better across different paces than the Mach 4 did. Little else appears to be that different here from the V4. I mean, if that shoe worked for you, you'll probably be dancing around the room right now with joy, but it seems like a very small incremental advance from the version 4. At the moment, until I know a bit more about this new foam, it's going to be a nay from me on the Mach 5. That's all the shoes on the A on A. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. A quick musical interlude for you. One of my favourite albums of all time, in fact really inspired me to pick up a guitar and learn to play, is that from Bernard Butler. His debut album, People Move On. He's just re-released it, this sort of massive deluxe version, so it's not just the original album, you've also got all the B-sides, alternative takes, things like that, but he's also done brand new vocal versions of all the tracks. That's like everything, all the B-sides, all the album tracks, the whole lot. So his voice has obviously matured quite a bit. This album was out in 1998, so it's a fair time ago. I like some of the new vocal takes, perhaps even better than the originals. Not Alone actually sounds better now, where his vocals are a little bit more confident. There's a little bit more power to them. There's some fantastic guitar tones on this record, guys. Hugely underrated, I think. People really don't realise just how good a guitarist Bernard Butler really is. I love some of his solos. They're wild, vibrant. There's actually some energy in there rather than it sounding like someone's just sort of plonking away on a guitar. Sounds like he means it. It's why I always like Neil Young's solos, because it really sounds like Neil wants to do a solo. Same here with Bernard Butler. You Just Know is a fantastic track. Stomping guitars here, slamming drums, real power to everything. It's just a really exciting, energizing tune. I love the luscious 12-string acoustic sounds on People Move On, and Stay is like a sort of psychedelic dream. Loads of interesting effects all over the record, and probably one of the best drumming performances I've ever heard. Mako Sakamoto Absolutely tremendous. I'm glad this one's been reissued. Hopefully a few people will check it out, and there's those new vocal versions too to enjoy. Go and open your ears to the sounds of People Move On by Bernard Butler. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of today's video. It is always appreciated. I've got about 5 or 6 scripts written for videos, so now my voice is back again and I don't sound too muffled. I shall get recording them and editing them quickly for you. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and also click the bell below for notifications when I roll out those new videos for you. Give this video a thumbs up, like, and also share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you.